Welcome to Coffin Comics Crucial Con Day 2.
Day 2!
Can you handle it? Boy, we have a whole action-packed day planned for you boils and ghouls. Isn't that right, Julian the Hooligan?
Oh, do we have shenanigans for you?
Man, we're here at Coffin Comics. We make good comics for bad boys and girls, and we're going to prove it to you today. We got in the house the one and only Julian the Hooligan.
Hello.
Opening the vault as we speak is Nick Napalm. Boom!
There's our
house. Well, so coming up right here at the 1 o'clock hour, we've launched the vault, and coming up in just a couple of minutes is actually a panel I've really been looking forward to for months now, and it's the 2021 Coffin Comics publishing plan. We're going to reveal to you what we've been building up to for the last 6 years. But before we do, let's hype up what's going on with the vault, with the one and only Hooligan.
Hey, everybody. Good Friday. Good Friday. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's show you some of the amazing goodies I dug deep for. Let's start off with this. This is the 18th anniversary Lady Death the Reckoning. Matt Bush. It's an AP3. I have yet to see another one of these.
Well, one thing I recall about those is back then we did that edition was limited to 18 copies in celebration of our 18th anniversary.
Wow.
There might have been 5 APs, and probably that's the last one we have. I don't know.
Yeah, so far I've just seen the one, but you know, guys, if I find cool treasures, I love giving it to you guys because you guys love it. So this was another real early Coffin. And then another one anytime I find Scott Lewis, for all you Scott Lewis fans, I had to break this one out. This is the Coffin Comics Moments. This is number 3 out of 200.
Wow. The exciting thing about the vault is it's only open for 1 hour today. And every item is unique. It was not repeated from yesterday. And when the vault closes, those items go bye-bye.
And another cool thing I found in the vault, 3 of these, number 4, number 5, and number 6. If you missed out on them, there you go. There's 3 of them rating right there.
Bam, the vault is open.
Juicy stuff, Julie.
Thank you. I'm here all week. I also thought I'd throw up another one of our graded copies we've got back, Lady Death Wicked Ways, 9.8, signed by the amazingly talented Dawn McTague. And it's an AP3.
AP3, not 8. Woo!
And
What?
I heard somebody on the social media was chatting about this, and I was so excited when I was like, oh, I pulled something that you guys might want to be checking out, the Dragon Wars Infinity Verse Omni Edition. This is a mock-up.
Super
This
cool.
is gorgeous.
And, you know, I think some people think that's just a cover or an interpretation of Lady Death. But if you're reading the comics, there's something else going on here.
It's slowly growing. It's going to explode. And then I was really happy about this. I love this Harrigan image. I love how he does Rockabilly Girls. He just knocks it out of the park. And I like that this is an homage to Return of the Living Dead. I was like, hey, it's the zombie guy from Return of the Living Dead. Beautiful, beautiful piece. This is just some of the many things I keep finding.
Julian the Hooligan has one of the coolest jobs in comics. He's about to show you something, but he's the official archivist of Coffin Comics, and he gets to go around and sniff around and see what we got. What did you just? Fair enough, right?
It's true.
Sometimes it's like a
it.
surprise to us. What do you got there, Hooligan?
Beautiful number 3 edition. I don't want to open the back to reveal it, but it is a Virgin art cover. This is
Gary Gastoni artwork, and what was fun, this was the first time I ever took a full color image and combined it with its original black and white. I think you had a
really nice.
And this cover, guys, is also pearl linen.
Yeah,
first ever pearl linen.
This one originated as a Flash exclusive a few years back at Phoenix Comic-Con.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, that was our first, might have been our first Flash, dude.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was our first ever Flash.
We did 2 like that.
Yeah, in pearl.
Yeah.
And one thing I really like about this, guys, it's a history lesson for me. So hearing these guys talk about it, and I find it excites me because I'm like, wow, I'm learning the history of Coffin Comics, and you are too. Another old school one, of Judgment War, Blood Red Skies.
It's just the one and only Greg Capullo providing the cover.
Isn't that just outrageous? How did you meet up with Greg Capullo and get started?
Early on, I became a fan of Greg Capullo's run on X-Force. I thought, among other things, his storytelling and his foreshortening was very exciting. And we had a mutual friend, a guy named Mark McKenna, who I became friends with. I think he knew him and put us together. And Capullo, I hired Capullo for the cover of Evil Ernie #0. And certainly he's gone on to do Lady Death cards. He did a lot of our Undertaker covers for WWE, Evil Ernie covers, and
Those Undertaker covers were pretty hot.
Undertaker covers were really good.
Really good.
Well, thank you so much for showing that. And
Stop the presses!
wait,
Stop the presses!
whoa.
I have some stuff and I have some things.
Wait, what's going on?
These are just in, y'all.
Whoa, Brandy Sparkles. Brandy, what are you doing with this getup?
You're awfully bright.
You know, the rule at Coffin Comics is at least 50% black.
That's on the inside. That's my soul. She never said outside.
I thought I did. Brandy's clearly breaking the rules. White sneakers, these, I call them tights.
They're not tights, they're leggings.
Tights.
Leggings.
And then the shirt, this is like
This is
why.
OG stuff.
This is why you're the black sheep of the family.
She's very 1990 today.
Right?
Totally
See,
1990.
The 90s were awesome.
But wait a minute, you interrupted us, and it seems like you have something in your hands. What do you want to show us?
I
Wait,
have
what?
some fancies. They're just hot off the press.
What do we got? Let's show people on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa! Bravo.
We actually have the Monty Moore, David Harrigan instant editions in-house and in hand. We got these things done thanks to the generosity and spirit of all our contributors between 24 hours less. Now, this is not a mock-up, I tell you. This is the work, including the comics.
Nice.
And we actually, so here is the Monty Moore edition, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lady Death and Brandy Sparkles have the same tights on.
We coordinated. We did.
All right.
This is why.
And
She's
so
bright.
this is color by Anthony Delaney and then David Harrigan. Some of you may have seen the live stream last night on both Harrigan's Facebook and Anthony Delaney's. Well, we got these things done and proofed by 11 o'clock last night. And they went to Mike Flippin, who created the trade dress. And then Anthony Delaney noticed a boo-boo on the back cover of the Monty Moore, which we fixed early this morning.
Nice. There it is. Always working. Always working.
But what's interesting about these, we want to distinguish for you that these are what we call first off the press editions. And we have 3 of each of these. And we actually, between us, we threw those on the vault. So we're making 3 only available. And they're in the vault right as we speak. So this is the front cover. And then this, the back cover details exactly what it is that we did. That on this day, so on Thursday, September 24th, Monty Moore penciled the all-new cover, which was colored by Anthony Delaney. And here we kind of counted that we'd deliver it on Sunday, but instead we did it in a day. So big up to our printing partners as well. So I guess to celebrate for this one, we're going to have to do a little dance. And it would probably go like this. Uh-oh.
I'm not ready.
Wait, ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba da.
The right stuff. See, they know the words, everybody. Do not let them fool you. They know.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Otis laughing at you.
Stop laughing with you.
What's the mic? What's the mic working here?
What it's like. I feel
My mic's off.
I feel bad about myself, and I'm going to give these back to you. You guys are great. I'm gonna kick you out, Brandy Sparkles.
Bye, everybody.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
I don't know if we're going to recover from that.
Oh, I'm not.
It's amazing.
You
Apologize
blew
in
your
advance.
Dakota, your own child, her mind was blown. I mean,
Does it
wow.
help that I was listening to Lamb of God on the way here?
Yes, it does.
I hope. So look, one other thing that I want to say before we get going is that we're also doing a warehouse finds reveal for the weekend. And one that we found is pretty ridiculous. So here is a Malevolent Decimation Naughty Lace by Warren Lau. This was previously only offered during our Malevolent Decimation Kickstarter, and well, we found a couple and we popped them on the site. So
Beautiful.
boy, man, he really turned it out. So let's see here. What else is there to say? Let's go a little bit over the day. Coming up today at 2 o'clock is going to be the executive replicas panel, I believe, where we're going to get some reveals on some action figures. Then at 3 p.m., I believe, we're going to have the Quarantine Studios, where there'll be an update on the Lady Death Seductor statue, and there might be a reveal for another statue. Then at 4 o'clock, I could be wrong, that would be the Rosanna cosplayer. Well, hang on, one second. Stay right here. This is going to be...
Oh, yes, the...
It's Rosanna cosplayer?
Yes, it is right.
And then, sorry, it's the brain. And then at 5 o'clock is going to be a spotlight on the one and only Ryan Kincaid, who contributed the super cool covers and prints. One other final note before we get into this panel is that the instant editions are also available as prints for print fans. So enjoy it. Without further ado, so, gentlemen, start your engines, because now we're going to get into the Coffin Comics publishing plan for 2021. So this particular panel is for, pick up a seat there, Julian the Mulligan, because this could be a while. So the premise here is this particular panel is for the readers and for everyone to know the theme of next year. So this particular year, the dominant theme was Lady Death going evil, the evil unleashed. And then for the La Muerta storyline, it really was completing the first giant story arc in the ultimate showdown between La Muerta and Mama Z. Upcoming in just a couple weeks, we're going to launch Hell Witch Sacrilegious Kickstarter. And that particular storyline and what it's about is critical to what will come into 2021. But before we get into it, let's set the scene and let's recap. So for us to get to 2021, I think the main thing that you need to know and you need to focus on is that for the multitude of chapters that are out on Lady Death, 1 through 12, the evil that's been brewing behind the scenes first appeared to be the Trinity. So as the story goes, a group called the Hell Raiders went to hell to bring Lady Death back to Earth to fight a grand evil. And that evil appeared to be the Trinity, which was 3 extinction-level ecological witches who were causing great harm and horror throughout the world. Well, in this particular book, Lady Death Blasphemy Anthem, a new group called the Sworn formed, took on the Trinity, and actually destroyed them. So it appeared as if that this extinction level villainy was vanquished. The truth of the matter was the Trinity and their ecological disasters was a siren call to an even greater evil. And that greater evil is Insurrectus. So upon his awakening, Insurrectus wanted to know where his brides were, but they had been destroyed by Lady Death and the Sworn. So, as we enter into this new year, through Lady Death Malevolent Decimation and upcoming in Treacherous Infamy, you're going to learn more about the epic villainy of Insurrectus and his mate, Atrocity. Atrocity was introduced in Lady Death's Scorched Earth. These two extinction-level villains come together, and when they come together, they bring forth their children called the Progeny. And this leads to our storyline next year, which bleeds over from Lady Death onto La Muerta and every single corner of the Coffin verse that you know about and you don't know about. So without further ado, let me announce to you our theme for next year, our company-wide event. Coffin Comics company-wide event, Deathocalypse, invading the Coffin verse in 2021. The epic villainy of Insurrectus and Atrocity and their brethren, their progeny, will completely take over. Tonally, This storyline is so large, it harkens to humongous storylines of the comics past. Things like Crisis on Infinite Earths, Secret Wars, dare I even say Avengers Endgame in terms of scope and scale. Definitely inspired by those types of moments. So that's why the story had to bleed through everything. So some of the things that you can expect before we get into the nitty gritty of it is, in the case of the Lady Death books, longer stories and more characters than the kitchen sink. So without further ado, we now know next year is Deathocalypse. Let's talk a little bit more about the individual stories of Deathocalypse. Deathocalypse, again, a Coffin Comics company-wide event bleeding over to every title, invading the Coffin verse in 2021. So coming March 2021, the first major story, Lady Death, Cataclysmic Majesty. So Lady Death, Cataclysmic Majesty. While the Insurrectus storyline has been brewing in the background, it completely comes right to the foreground. We actually start taking a look at the outcome of this year's Lady Death storyline, and I cannot confirm or deny, is she evil? Is she good? I don't know. What's her relationship to other characters we've introduced? Can't say. What I can do is show you some of the pages from that book, since we're already very deep into the production. So, please take a look at some of the pages from Cataclysmic Majesty. In panel 1, you'll see a character named Atticus Marrow is actually working on the mind of Lady Death. I'm going to let you just ponder that. I am not going to add or subtract to it. What I can say about every character that we've introduced in the Coffin verse is that no one character is sufficient to taking down Insurrectus, Atrocity, and their progeny in their truly, truly nefarious plans. So the question is, together, could they? We've introduced in the past a character named Tiva Steelheart, and she's actually a shape-changing werewolf. Here is a page by Diego Bernard depicting Tiva in action. By design, I'm simply giving you fractured imagery. I'm giving some things away today, but I don't want to give too much away. But we're not calling it Deathocalypse for nothing. Next up, sharp-eyed viewers, this is the Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is having a private get-together with a character that longtime readers will know as Volnavia. Volnavia. So another thing I would like to tell you guys is, tonally, between Blasphemy Anthem and next year's Deathocalypse, this is definitely a love letter to these giant, epic-scaled, epic-scoped, kind of quasi-superheroic stories. And this will be the year where we make that particular expression. In the year beyond, I think you could expect something completely different, because we might have had our say on this. It's another cool one-page scene featuring the character Lady Satanus, beginning at her cool penthouse in Phoenix, Arizona. So we're teasing out a little more of the individual characters you might have met during Blasphemy Anthem, seeing them back in their lives before the massive call to action. And then this is a double-page spread that begins to communicate to you the epic villainy in massive scale of what Insurrectus is up to. So actually, Insurrectus appears to be creating a city over Giza, Egypt. And if you'll notice, all sorts of progeny exiting. So I actually named the character Atrocity in Scorched Earth, Lady Death Scorched Earth, Chapter 9. I called her the Mother of Abominations. And I think when she meets up with Insurrectus, and current backers of Lady Death, Treacherous Infamy will really get to see the expression of this when you get the book. You're going to see what happens when Insurrectus and the Mother of Abominations come together and bring to life this countless progeny of monsters and evil of all shapes and sizes and abilities. It's frightening. So that is a taste of Lady Death, Cataclysmic Majesty. Next up, coming in May of 2021, we have La Muerta Onslaught. La Muerta Onslaught is the 7th chapter of La Muerta. And what makes this one different is we've just completed the first major storyline of La Muerta. And by agreement with Joel and Mike, we said, wouldn't this be great to take this epic level threat of Insurrectus and have it spread throughout our universe and have our street level characters somehow interact with this monumental threat. This kind of reminds me of, I think there was a Marvel storyline I enjoyed. I think it was called Inferno. And what happened was street level characters like Daredevil and the Punisher were facing off against these creatures from hell. And I thought that was kind of a cool contrast because up until now, La Muerta by design is very street level. So I'm going to show you some of the pages the guys came up with. I'd also like to say, to welcome on board Joel Gomez as co-plotter on this particular storyline, along with Mike McLean. What I really did is kind of gave the guys a parameter and then just let them do their thing and within the context. So what I think I can say is that the character Insurrectus and Atrocity do bring forth hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of children or progeny, and of all shapes and sizes and all sorts of abilities. So I guess in game terms, some of them are bosses. So there is actually a hierarchy to them. And one of the many ways that Insurrectus plans to dominate our Earth is to find all those with unnatural ability who guard the innocent and to destroy them, to humiliate everybody right in front of their eyes. So for some reason, that means progeny are dispatched to La Muerta. Where I think that becomes very interesting for longtime readers is so far we've portrayed her as a street level character without a supernatural ability.
Been interested to see what's going to kick it up the next level because that's my favorite character. And reading it, I'm like, wow, I really like the street level, but there's this mysticism getting thrown in. So it's like, how is this going to affect how the story arc's been going with the character?
Yes, and so the idea that this progeny are attracted to her might indicate there might be some extra ability. So here's some pages. Now this is fun. The pitch on this storyline, which I think was invented by Mike McLean, was, I think it's something like John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13 meets maybe a kaiju movie. So here's some of the early pages where some characters that are associated with the La Muerta universe are actually heading to La Muerta and Loco's lair, which is an abandoned amusement park called Fiesta World. And they're actually going for some retribution. And however, these bad guys don't know to the degree to which Fiesta World is rigged for anyone who might want to come and cause trouble. More pages. Fiesta World, this is the characters you're seeing on the final panel is La Muerta, Loco, and Loco's assistant, Alfredo. We actually do kind of refer to Loco as the Barrio Batman. So, of course, his assistant would be Alfredo. And then here is another, it's just a gorgeous, my agenda in showing this is just how beautiful Joel's work is. That's actually another character of ours named Sombra. So Sombra is a witch. She's a bruja, and she tends to play both sides. But these guys who are after some retribution actually get a hold of her and they're kind of using her as a bargaining chip. So that's the setup. We're at Fiesta World. We have La Muerta in her cast, and we have this group of bad guys who want to take them out. But we interrupt the proceedings with a giant monster and all the weird little creatures that spin off it, and who are now going to head to Fiesta World to accost it. And so that is a taste of La Muerta Onslaught. And this one will feature, La Muerta Onslaught will feature a guest appearance by the one and only Diva of Death,
What?
Lady Death.
Yeah!
Let's do
Right
it.
on, let's do it.
Let's
Nice.
do it. All right, so next August. This is where it all comes to a head. This is Lady Death Sacrificial Annihilation. Say it 3 times with me. Sacrificial Annihilation.
Good job.
Sacrificial annihilation. Sacrificial annihilation. Woo! Right off the tongue.
Well, Sacrificial Annihilation, I am literally working on as we speak, even this morning, along with Mike McLean. We will be offering it next August, 2021. And a couple things that I can say without hyperbole, Julian, it's the biggest story we've ever done. It's the most epic. It's stuff with the most characters, the most conflict, the most highs, the most lows. And at the end of it, there is some degree of resolution. Now, some of the characters that appear, every single solitary character that's ever appeared in the Coffin verse to date will be in this storyline.
Nice.
So,
It's official. The universe is official now. It's even bigger than it was before.
yeah. So this particular book introduced the Sworn and a bunch of characters, but yeah, by the time we hit 14, there's even more. And the challenge in storylines like that is to get people to enjoy the characters and have moments and still let a character like Lady Death really be the spine of the story. But this storyline, it all comes down to this. All the characters of the Coffin verse versus Insurrectus, Atrocity, and the Progeny. And at the very least, the fate of the world is at stake, perhaps more.
All that, it better be, man. Come on. It better be the end of the world. Come on, let's do this.
Research for this has been really fun because I've been going back and reading all, like, my favorite Dark Side stories, Thanos stories, Crisis on Infinite Earth, Secret Wars, all that kind of stuff.
This is fun stuff.
Yeah,
Very
it's fun
epic
stuff to
stories.
research. Yeah, the scope and the scale of those stories is it's like riding the lightning, man. Trying to get the balance to it. So that's that one. And then are you guys ready for what's going to be coming out October 2021? I think in many ways this is the one people have been waiting for. Hell Witch versus Lady Death Wargasm.
Yeah!
Wargasm.
Wargasm. Wargasm. I need a cigarette after saying that.
This is the one for all the marbles. Lady Death versus Hell Witch. We first introduced Hell Witch in Lady Death Damnation Game Chapter 2 and established the direct conflict between the two characters. You could see her first appearance. Hell Witch being a Hellborn. Here's the first ever appearance of Hell Witch. Here's where Hell Witch handily handles Lady Death. And then Hell Witch was actually sort of shamed by Lady Death and yet did make reappearances in. Well, she actually made appearances throughout and then started taking more dominant appearances in Unholy Ruin. It's fun to go back over these pieces. And then particularly in Apocalyptic Abyss, which completed our big first major story arc of Lady Death and Hell. And so you really do see the hints of some showdowns between Hell Witch and Lady Death. Now, it's been some time. There's actually some real pivotal moments. And in this particular battle in Apocalyptic Abyss, I'd like to say that had there been no intervention, Lady Death might clearly have lost. But here's like a fixed knockdown, drag out battle between the two. And it really took the character Chaotica to get in on there and kind of quell that, and really left it undecided. So in Hell Witch versus Lady Death, Wargasm, I'm going to let you know a couple things. everybody likes the name. Wargasm.
Approved company-wide.
Yes.
We voted on
I had a
it.
couple different names. That's the one that people seem to like.
That was fitting. That's perfect.
So a couple things. Many years in the late 90s, I had another company, and we promised Lady Death to fight another character that was very well known. And it was even called Goddess War. And a couple people really weren't satisfied with that as a battle. So just letting you guys know. Hell Witch versus Lady Death Wargasm is a 48-page comic of story and art. And we're promising about 30 pages of fighting. So just don't get it twisted. It's not going to be 42 pages, 2 pages of the battle and the resolution. This is going to be knockdown, drag out, all over the place.
This is gonna, I think, blow everyone's mind, because now that you've created the universe and now you got this huge level apocalypse coming their way, death apocalypse, it's like, dude, yeah, everyone's gonna be excited. I think 2021 is gonna be our biggest year.
That's great. Well, you heard it here from the hooligan. Really happy to hear that. I'm just happy to be expressing myself, doing these kooky comic books with you guys and girls out there. So to recap, a Coffin Comics company-wide event, Deathocalypse, invading the Coffin verse in 2021 with these particular books. In March of 2021, we will offer Lady Death Cataclysmic Majesty, which is chapter 13. In May 2021, we'll offer La Muerta Onslaught, chapter 7. In August, Lady Death Sacrificial Annihilation, chapter 14. And then in October, we round out the year with the epilogue to end all epilogues, Hell Witch versus Lady Death
Wargasm!
And let me go over the teams. So co-writer on everything, Mike McLean, and myself. Illustrator Diego Bernard on Lady Death. Illustrator Joel Gomez. All the usual suspects. Marshall Dillon on lettering, etc., etc. So it's the teams you know and love. And show you this one more time, because this is the mantra that we're going to be living by. Deathocalypse is coming. The end is nigh, Julian the Hooligan. So without further ado, thank you for listening in on that piece of it. I want to go over once again some of the cool items from the vault. So why don't you show folks a couple of cool things, Julian the Hooligan?
Yes, I am. Let's pull out some other beautiful things. I got a Killer's Naughty Inferno edition. This is an artist proof, AP numeral 5, and it's got that beautiful, gorgeous COA that we put with all our special edition books. How are they doing over there? Is there anything left, Nick?
There's somewhat.
There's one guy I saw posted something on Facebook, and I was so excited. He was asking about Baby Death. Well, I found a Baby Death book, and because of that posting, I was like, I'm going to make sure we make this a part of this weekend show. So there you are. It's a number 3 edition. So anyone out there looking for Baby Death, I found one, and I got it up there for you.
16 products left.
Wow. Wow. Dude. Oh, got to show off a classic. It's Lady Death. This is the Celebration.
Oh, that is
The number
classic.
3 edition. Amazing Mr. Hughes cover. Now, this is also another early Coffin.
A very early Coffin, yeah. That was from Stephen Hughes had done a series of sketches related to an Evil Ernie Youth Gone Wild signed trade that came with, it was an edition somewhere between like 120, 150 copies, and Stephen had done illustrations for each one, and I definitely made copies of them. I want to jump back in for a second, and so David Balance is asking, will Wargasm be a cliffhanger? Wargasm will not be a cliffhanger. At the end of the story, that's in. I can answer no more questions about it, but I can't. Ask me no more questions. I tell you no more lies. What else you got there, kiddo?
Another number 3. We got the Killer's #1 Ghost Edition.
Stephen Butler.
This is a real popular image. I remember a lot of the mini prints, packing a lot of mini prints with this
It
image.
was also the basis for the first ever Coffin era jeweled edition, I believe.
Wow.
It was done for Emerald City, so there was a color variation in green. Really pretty and simple image. Then, folks, thank you so much, Julian the Hooligan. Another friendly reminder, simultaneous to the exclusives we're offering, we have our warehouse finds. You can find that on our store, and we found some cool Warren Lau Naughty Lace. And I do want to let you know that we have all our exclusives for Crucial Con, including the now arrived instant editions and nice and naughty editions by Ryan Kincaid, the Death-O-Rama edition by the one and only Brian Miller, and we would be remiss if we did not mention the Chaos Rules Give Comics Hope Metallic Edition. So this is a book we're doing for charity. All the proceeds will benefit comic shops in need. Proceeds will go to Bink. This is on pre-order now for $100, and it will be, pre-order will go until October 16th. Then we're going to collect the funds and get it right to Bink. And Bink is an industry-wide charity that represents the book industry and the comic shop market industry. So all I want to say at this point, Julian, is you guys have been great. We've been the Coffin crew.
And we can't do this without you.
Be back at 2 o'clock for the Jimmy Coffin panel with executive replicas. You will be happy about it. Peace out. Talk soon.